Hi guys, today it is time for another Top 5 Wednesday. I haven't done a Top 5 Wednesday in a while, so I'm very excited to do this week's topic, which is the top 5 book series you wish had more books. I actually only have 4 series that I wish had more books. I didn't really know anymore. Most of the series that I have read, I was quite happy with the amount of books there were, or it was just a finished story in 3 books or 4 books or whatever. But I still wanted to show you the 4 book series that I have, because about some of them I feel quite passionate, so let's get started. So my number 4 is one that is maybe a bit strange, but I'm going to explain myself, and it is the Hunger Games Trilogy by Suzanne Collins. And I actually talked about this, I think, in my Top 5 Wednesday of characters that deserve their own series. I talked a bit about how I wish there were just more books about the other characters, and I think the Hunger Games just deserves thousands and thousands of prequels, and I could also live with a sequel, like totally. I think there's so much to this world. It's kind of sad to only reduce it to 3 books. And while the story of Katniss is basically finished in these 3 books, there's still a lot more to tell about her. I mean, a sequel could still talk about her and how she copes with it all. And it would kind of be a different genre, but I still think it would be extremely interesting. And for the prequels, there's so much to tell. I mean, while I think that the world building in this is really, really good, we still have no idea why the world ended up the way it did, or America, basically. I could definitely imagine this being like a 5 or maybe 6 book series. I'm just not done with this. I'm not done with this. My number 3 is a series that I have chosen for quite similar reasons, and that is the Shannara Trilogy by Tahereh Mafi. I just wish we had so much more world building in this, and I would totally accept 1 or 2 more books in this series just for the world building, because I really enjoyed the characters, I really enjoyed the stories, and I enjoyed the parts of the world that we saw, but we never got any kind of background information. There was basically no world building whatsoever. In the 3rd book there was not really any kind of solving except for Roman's character problem solving. It bugs me so much, and I mean, there's not even an epilogue. I think we all agree on this. I think there's a lot more to tell in this series, a lot more, and I think that Tahereh Mafi would be perfectly capable of writing a proper world building for this. I just think that is not what the series was intended for, which is okay. I love the trilogy as it is, but I would probably donate money to a Kickstarter or something if that was an option, to get more world from this and more books. Number 2 is a series that has more books planned anyway, but I still really wanted to mention it just to emphasize again how much I love the series, and that is The Archived by Victoria Schwab. So far this is a duology, but I know that at least in Victoria Schwab's head it is a trilogy. She just kind of has problems with publishing it. I would take 4 or 5 books of this. If she writes and publishes another book and we have like a finished trilogy, that would be super cool, but I would also take more books. It's just a really amazing world, and another one where there's so much to tell. And this is really a different case to the other books, because it's just not finished like this. And it's not only my personal opinion that it's not finished like this. I mean, it's Victoria Schwab's personal opinion that it is not finished like this. She says it's basically a trilogy. You know, so far we don't have it, and we don't really get too much information on it. We just know she wants to do it, but she's not sure if she's able to, and that is why I really wanted to include this. Also to encourage you all to read this series and support it, so we can get a 3rd book. And I just love these books so much, and I want so much more. And the last series I wish had more books is one of my favorite trilogies, and it is a really great trilogy, but there is also a lot more to add, and that is of course the Gresling Trilogy by Christine Cashaw. It's hard for me to talk about it without giving away any spoilers, but you probably heard that it is kind of a companion trilogy, and while that is the case, it's still something that connects very beautifully. That is all I can say. It already gives away too much. And I just wish there were more books to connect to these. And while I think that the story was wrapped up very well, I just want so much more, because I'm so in love with the world building, with the characters. I would read so much more of this. It's just a really beautiful series. And I think that the fact that this is a companion trilogy is kind of supporting my thoughts of it being more books, because there's always a possibility for more companion novels. And this trilogy just deals with another main character in every book. You know, there's so much space for more characters. This is just the perfect series for so many more books. I want them all. So these were all of the series that I wish had more books. I don't know if this is like an okay ranking that I did, because I think it is basically more about a series that do not feel like they have a proper ending, and I do feel like all of these series are finished in themselves, but I still want more. I'm basically just grabby hands and I just want more, even if it is finished. I'm just really lucky to say that I don't think that there is a series that I have read where I felt like the story was not finished enough. And I mean, I haven't finished that many series, but yeah, I'm just really lucky. So this is basically the best that I could come up with, and just that is something that I wish for, but I could live with it if it's not gonna happen. And I think that in the other rankings there's probably going to be some books where the people are so desperate to find out what actually happened. Sorry for ranting about this. As always, let me know if there's a series that you wish had more books, whatever the reasons for that might be. And thank you so much for watching. I guess I'll see you soon. Bye!